I'm Dr. Rashida Crutchfield. I'm assistant professor in the School of Social Work at California State University, Long Beach. I study college homelessness and hunger, so I'm very much focused on housing stability and food security for college students. This is an issue that most people really aren't aware of. It's an emerging issue. People are beginning to understand that students are experiencing homelessness on college campuses. Right now, we have a sense that there might be as many as 1 in 4 students who are experiencing food insecurity and 1 in 10 students who are experiencing homelessness in some way. This year, we're disseminating a survey across all 23 campuses. So we're asking our students what their experiences are with food security, housing instability, and stress. So we, in 2018, will have much better numbers. We'll have a much better understanding of what's happening in our California State University system as it relates to food and housing security. No other college system at this level has done a study like this. So it's hard to know whether now we're at a point where this is becoming a bigger problem, and it's hard to know how it's progressing over time. So it's important for us to collect this data so we know where we are and where we're going with students. Generally, people think of homelessness as the person you see on the road or street living. Generally, an older adult, people often think of older men in terms of homelessness. What's really important for us to think about is that homelessness comes in many faces. If you're on a college campus, you might have very little knowledge that you're walking around campus and around students who might not have a place to stay. It's important to be clear that we're looking at both housing stability and food security. So this issue is really holistic. We're looking at basic needs. A lot of people believe that if you're in college, you must have the ability to fund your college experience. What we're talking about here is students who don't have the economic stability or the economic safety net that goes beyond the cost of tuition. Students may have funds to pay some bills, to pay their tuition, but it's really hard to pay for a place to stay, and then it's sometimes really hard to find the funds to pay for your next meal. So we do have students who are street living. We have students who are living in their cars or living in places that are not meant for human habitation. But we also have students who are doing what we call couch surfing or dorm surfing. So they may be moving from place to place, living with friends for a week or two, and then trying to find another place to live once that living space falls through. And for us, that is homelessness. When you're a student who's worrying about where your next meal is coming from or where you're going to stay next week, it's really hard to focus on your math test or doing all those readings. Our students are on campus because they want to graduate. They are strong students, they're intelligent students who want to get a college education, but on top of all of the stressors of college education, they're also worrying about meals, and they're worrying about where they're going to stay the next day. What's important to consider is that all of our students have very different stories. We really must resist the urge to utilize stereotypes to really understand what homelessness and hunger is. There's a lot of reasons why this might be happening. It could be the lack of livable wages. It could be the lack of affordable housing. A lot of people feel like all students struggle in some way, that we've all been that starving student at one time or another. That's not what this is. These are not students who are slacking off. These are students who are doing what they need to do to get a college education and don't have the economic stability and the support that they need to get their basic needs met. Here at California State University, Long Beach, we have a program called the Student Emergency Intervention and Wellness Program. So students who are experiencing homelessness can get emergency housing. If they lack the ability to get the food that they need, they can get meals on their meal card, and that goes straight, just like any other student with a meal plan. They can use their meal card to swipe their meal card to purchase a meal with no stigma attached. Some of the other things that we're doing here on campus include a case management team that includes a fellow from the College of Education and Masters of Social Work students who support our students both in their time of crisis and beyond, so that those students know that they have someone that they can reach out to if a problem emerges again in the future. So this is a justice issue. It's a right to have a place to stay. It's a right to have food to eat. This is about equitable education for our students.